Fever FM, the number one choice in Leeds.
Hi everyone, welcome to Fever FM. We're here again with our Together We Can project brought to you by the National Lottery Community Fund. Today we are going to discuss how the current pandemic has affected people with disabilities. We have with us today a Jazz who was born without his hands and feet and has faced huge challenges. He currently works at St James's as a clerical officer and is married with 3 children. Firstly, can I ask how the pandemic has affected you?
Yeah, well, the pandemic has affected me with regards to my physical disability. I'm not getting much exercise done. It's the winter as well.
Yeah.
So it's cold. It's dark when I get up in the morning. It's dark when you come back from work. So it's affected me. It's affected my wife. She has diabetes. It's affecting my kids because they can't get out. So morale is a bit low,
Yeah, I can imagine it is. And you work in a hospital?
Yeah, I work in a hospital. I used to do full-time, but I'll do part-time hours now. So.
Yeah. So you've seen firsthand the effect that COVID has had on
I'm not actually based on the ward at the moment, but obviously from what I hear from colleagues, it is quite devastating. I've had colleagues on ICU beds, but touch wood, they've recovered from COVID.
Oh,
so
good.
for people who say, it's made up and that, it's not.
No, it's not. I never thought it was made up, but anyway. What do you personally think are the challenges faced by people with disabilities during this pandemic?
During this pandemic, probably not agencies reaching out to them. When I say agencies, like Leeds City Council, government, local government, MPs, local councillors. I appreciate these people are busy and they have jobs to do, but obviously we are people as well.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I've got a support network and my wider support network as well, but some people are on their own. Some people don't know how to access agencies, so I think they're probably vulnerable as well.
Governments around the world, including the UK's, have overwhelmingly failed to protect people with disabilities rights in responding to the global pandemic. Do you personally think the government should do more?
I think the government have got a hell of a lot to answer to, not just with regards to the pandemic, but just disability as a whole.
Right.
I mean, you've got they abolished apartheid, which was obviously, years ago, but now they've got, disability is such a massive scar in society, but they need to eradicate this because they need to make our lives easier. I have to go to a restaurant and I have to book in advance. I have to ask how many stairs are there to go up, how many is the toilet accessible toilet. All these should be in place. I mean, legislation, the Disabilities Discrimination Act says every public building should have level access. I can walk you down this round the road today and show you half a dozen which haven't.
Yeah, more than half a dozen, I bet.
Probably more. I think I'm being nice there.
Yeah, you are. And there's another survey that says 78% of people with a disability feel they've been forgotten, which has led to feelings such as loneliness and isolation, which you did touch on earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, you do feel forgotten, because, the way I look at life, I open my eyes and I feel like, in my mind, I feel as able-bodied as the next person.
Yeah.
But obviously, then I do have limitations, which my disability presents. And I do feel forgotten because not everybody feels the way I do. It doesn't mean just because you open your mouth and then you tell your anxieties, all the anxieties are in your head. And when they build up, you don't have anywhere to channel these anxieties to. And obviously all these silly thoughts come into your head, self-harm, stuff like this. But in one way, I'm probably blessed with my disability, I'm unable to self-harm myself.
Well, I never thought of it like that.
So, I think that's probably something what's kept me back,
But you've not suffered depression or anything through the pandemic?
It can get depressing.
Yeah.
It can get depressing.
Because you seem quite an upbeat type of person.
I am an upbeat type of person, but obviously when you look, that your wife's finding it challenging, your kids are finding it challenging.
Yeah.
You know, normally throughout the week we just have our weekly routine, but obviously on the weekend we normally go out as a family. But where do you drive around to? You know, you can, because we're in a tier 3 category, we can't go out with Leeds. You know, so what do? Do you just drive around like idiots? It's no point.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think because this has been going on since March now, I
Yeah.
think a lot, even me, I'm just getting really fed up with it.
Yeah,
Just need it to change, which hopefully it will with this
I hope so.
wonder vaccine that we're meant to be given next year. Do you think there's been any positives of the pandemic for people with disabilities? For example, working from home, the acceptance of working from home. Obviously, that not in your job, but
Yeah, I mean, I myself work for the local NHS in a clerical capacity. Obviously, I need to be at work.
yeah,
But yeah, government should reach out to people, you know, especially with disabilities, and if they can work from home, i.e., you know, via a laptop, via Zoom or other mechanisms, then I think that would make their life easier. Because if you appreciate, you know, just when you get up, when the alarm goes off in the morning, the amount of stress you must have, you know, as a person with disability, you just eradicate that straight away. So all you do is you get up at your own pace, you get up, you get washed, have your breakfast, and then you could just sit at your computer. Life would be so much easier.
yeah. So you think organisations should make it an option for people with disabilities to work from home? If
I
that's a
think so.
preference?
I think so. But it should be on the right terms. I mean, I've also seen, you know, when people apply for jobs and it says if you meet the criteria and you've got a disability, we'll offer you an interview. But is that just a token gesture? I don't know. So
Yeah.
I look at it that way. You know, don't get me wrong, but because I've had my disability all my life, I look at everything with a bit of skeptic.
Do you think it's something that they feel they're meant to say?
I think so. I think society is like that. You know, but obviously if someone shows you some genuine affection, then you're kind of drawn towards that. But then when they show you that and it's on false pretenses, once you find out it was false, then there's no going back. It's like when someone's died, you know, once you've buried them, they not come back. So I that's how I live my life. If someone's wronged me, that's it, they're gone for me.
That's a good way to live your life. I agree with that one. Now, I'm not allowed to ask if you've got anything to add because we took that question out, didn't we?
Yeah.
Have you got anything to add?
Not really, no.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, it just leaves me to say thank you for coming in and sharing your opinions and taking time out to speak to us.
You're more than welcome.
And
Thank
we
you.
at Fever FM wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Thank
All the
you.
best to everyone else.